What's up, everybody? I know I'm a little late with my Wolverine review, but I wanted to see it specifically with a buddy of mine, and he just did not have time all last week to go see it, and we finally got to see it Friday. And I don't know what it is about this movie, but I just was not that excited to see it. I loved X-Men First Class, but maybe because of X-Men 3 and X-Men Origins Wolverine, it kind of affected my my anticipation for this movie. And walking into this movie and watching it start off, I was kind of caught off guard just how much they act like X-Men Last Stand exists, because I always had the intention that they were going to try to forget about that movie and pretend like as little as possible that it actually exists in this universe. And this whole movie is basically, the first half is him trying to run away from what happened at the end of X-Men Last Stand. And that's something that is funny because this is exactly how we were introduced to Logan in the first X-Men movie, where he was by himself trying to run away from civilization. And this time, it really didn't feel like it had the emotional depth to it to fully appreciate what they were going for. Maybe it's been so long since we've actually seen Jean Grey, but I don't feel like he should just be lost without her. I understand that he kind of loved her in those movies, but they felt so long ago that I didn't feel the impact that I think I should have. And then once Yukio, his partner in crime basically, gets introduced to the movie and takes him to Japan to really get the plot moving, I didn't really like what Japan brought to the movie. That the action sequences were all kind of martial artsy, and it felt like it wasn't necessarily a superhero movie, which I'm kind of fine with, but generic kung fu is not exciting to me all that much anymore. You have to have some type of spin on it. And then the action pieces in this movie that did involve kung fu were just meh to me. The bullet train sequence I thought was horribly done, and I didn't feel like it had a sense of reality at all to it. How fast that train was really going, none of that felt like it could have happened, especially with someone who wasn't even a mutant. He was a generic bad guy number 2, and he's somehow able to withstand the speeds and fight Logan long enough to actually make it a battle, and it did not work for me. And then once the bullet train sequence ends and the film kind of takes Logan's powers away from him and he's not used to it, I felt like they missed a really good opportunity to actually do something here, because this is the first time we've ever seen him without his powers, and no threat is ever presented in front of him. He legit just kind of bonds with the one girl, Mariko, and this bond that they build felt like they didn't actually earn it. They kind of just threw them in scenes together and expected you to get their chemistry that I didn't think was present all that much. And then she becomes the damsel in distress constantly in this movie, and it ends up leading to the third act, and it just seems so lazy and so generic, because the bad guy is the Silver Samurai dude who just kind of pops up out of nowhere, and it's not even really a fight. It's kind of just swing the sword, grab Logan by his throat, punch him, and it just throw him around. Like, it didn't feel like an actual battle between the two. And it's one of those things where you question what each of them do, because it felt like the battle could have easily swayed in either side if they would have just done this simple response, which makes me think the movie was a little bit lazy. And then the other villain of the movie was Viper, who is the one who kind of spits acid. She's the blonde chick, and I don't know if she was going for a cheesy or a campy type of feel or trying to be completely serious, but she was awful in this movie, and definitely was one of the worst mutants I've seen in any of the X-Men movies. Which sucks because she's really the only other mutant with powers. There's another mutant that can see the future, but that's it. That's her only power. She doesn't actually have powers to help her in battle. She just uses the sword, and that's Yukio, who kind of feels like a badass, but she's fighting generic people. And I feel like her battle with Viper was such a questionable conclusion. Viper felt like this terrible character who can't fight. Has no, like, it just, I can't believe how easily disposed or defeated she was. And then the conclusion with Logan moving on and finally accepting what happened in X-Men 3 kind of feels like a cheat, because I didn't buy the romance between him and Morocco, or whatever her name is. It kind of just felt like he won the battle at the end and won the girl, and we're supposed to just be happy with that type of conclusion, and I just did not buy it. The whole movie just kind of felt like it was so lifeless and so unfun, and I think they intended it not to be that fun. They wanted it to be this serious character drama for Wolverine, but they didn't go deep enough into him to actually make it serious enough. And like, I felt like we've already learned so much about him that there's not much more you can introduce about his character that is all that entertaining and exciting. And it makes it one of the more forgettable superhero movies I've ever seen. And that post-credit sequence at the end was something that, once again, I'm shocked at how much they acknowledge X-Men Last Stand and work that movie into this universe. And the credit sequence doesn't actually do all that much to excite me for Days of Future Past, but that's because I think it didn't show the characters that I love in the post-credit sequence. Hopefully that movie ends up being a lot better than this one and a lot more memorable, because this one just didn't do that for me. I really like Wolverine as a character, but I don't think I am all that excited for them to ever do another standalone movie with Wolverine as the main character. And for that, I give this movie a 5 out of 10. And I hope you enjoy it more than me. I was pretty disappointed with this movie, and there's not much more they could have done with this movie to entice me that much. So yeah, tell me what you thought of this movie in the comments below. And if you like my review, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. I hope you have a great day.